Hello, everyone. My name is Jonah Cronus, and I'm the Member Experience Specialist for ASIST. And I'm here today with Brady Lund, who has agreed to chat with us about their experience and their time in ASIST. Welcome, Brady.
Thank you.
All right, so let's go ahead and start off with a quick introduction. So, if you don't mind, tell us who you are and where you are.
My name is Brady Lund. I am a assistant professor at the University of North Texas in their Department of Information Science. I got my Master's of Library Science degree and my PhD from Emporia State University in Kansas, and now I'm here at UNT. My primary areas that I research are looking at the human, particularly ethical and societal impacts of emerging technologies with how popular generative AI is right now. That tends to be a major focus of my research. And I teach at various levels in our information science and library science programs from undergrad to advanced graduate courses.
Gotcha. Thanks so much for that intro. So, we'll go ahead and hop into the questions. So, in one or two sentences, how do you define information science, and what is your elevator pitch for information science?
So, to me, information science is an exploration of the human aspects of emerging information and data technologies. I think back to the foundations of our discipline in library science, and even back in the 1930s and before, the principle of every reader their book. And everyone has information that is relevant to them. Everyone has information that they are seeking out. How do we get that information? How do we connect the person with the information? And now taking those principles today into a wide variety of information contexts, different systems, different generative AI tools. How do we design those? How do we develop those? How do people interact with those? And how do we incorporate our ethical principles, our different policies and standards to help guide those technologies in the right direction to be helpful to people? How do we instruct people to use those systems most effectively to find the information they need and connect people with technology? There's a lot of other disciplines that look at the technical aspects of how do you build system X, um, data science, computer science, information systems. How do you build these tools? Um, we can be involved with building, but we're really involved with helping understand how do people use these tools to find information and data, and then how can that inform how other people may be developing these tools.
So, what inspired you to pursue a career in information science?
The fun thing about information science is there's so many different paths to get to our discipline, perhaps compared to a very professional program in an area like medical sciences or K-12 education, where there's a very prescribed undergraduate, graduate path. We have so many different ways to get here. And so my particular path was I was actually a health sciences student in undergrad, but I discovered I really liked doing research, like literature-based research. When we get like essay assignments, going and finding the literature and then writing up, creating new knowledge, and then sharing that knowledge and learning things myself, and also being able to share that knowledge really appealed to me. So that led me to the path of librarianship because I thought, well, I see these librarians being involved in all this different research with different professionals and academics across the university. I'll be a librarian, and then I can have my hand in all these different research activities, and that'll really appeal to what I'm in. So I took that path. But then, as a master's of library science student, I really discovered like more so than just collaborating with these different researchers or helping them find research for their particular project. I'm really interested in like doing my own research and doing a lot of research and learning all these new things and sharing all this new knowledge. being involved in all these activities throughout the research process. And so I quickly determined that I wanted to do a PhD, and it also really aligned with my interests in emerging technology and wanting to do some stuff in research in that area about how people interact with technology. So it just really pulled me into doing that PhD direction. But it was kind of a path where starting off in my undergrad, I never would have expected to be at this particular juncture of my career doing these research activities, but it just pulled me in. My fascination with research, being involved in that process, and seeing students and just their successes and celebrating those successes really pushed me more and more to wanting to have a faculty position once I completed that doctoral program.
Thank you for sharing all these parts of your journey, Brady, and how you got here. We appreciate that. Um, yeah, so why did you decide to join ASIST?
Well, so in the information professions, information disciplines, there's a lot of different professional homes that you could potentially have. And I think it's important, whatever level you're at, whatever your career path is, to have some kind of professional home. But what really appealed to me about ASIST was it's kind of an umbrella organization for the information disciplines. So we have other professional organizations that work in a specific area of our information professions or information discipline. American Library Association for professional librarians. Uh, Elise does some things with library instruction specific areas, but ASIST has all of that together. And so you can be an academic or special librarian, or you could be a data scientist, a systems analyst, and find a home in ASIST. And with someone like me, with my path going from health sciences to library science to information science, it really appeals to me to have all of that together in one home and to have a very broad view of who can be included in different discussions in our discipline, being able to collaborate with people who are information professionals, working in libraries, working in a variety of different information contexts, working in data analysis, all the way up to people who are directors and deans of information science programs, top researchers in our field. Having all of that together, I think that really enriches the experience of ASIST in a way that some other organizations don't have because they're very specific to a particular area. So I quickly found a home in ASIS because of that. It really appealed to me. But then I uh, found very early in my experience in ASIS that it's very welcoming to ambitious uh, professionals, ambitious researchers who want to be involved in the organization in a variety of different ways, get leadership roles, be active in different ASIS publications. It's very welcoming to that in a way that some organizations aren't. Some organizations you really have to work your way up to a leadership role. But even as a student, I was involved in committees. Um, Very early as a professor, I was the chair of our Midwest chapter. So if you want to be involved, it's very accessible to you. And then that just makes me all the more connected to ASIS as a member.
For sure. Yeah, we're glad you're here. So, what would you say is the most rewarding aspect of your job?
There are two things that really stand out to me that I really love about my job. And they're kind of connected. One is being able to track my personal achievement, and the other, the achievement of others, of students, of collaborators, in ways that you can't necessarily do in other professions, I would say. In the information professions, whether you're a librarian, doing research and publishing, or you're a faculty member in an LIS program like myself, um, you have the opportunity to have some self-direction in your path, what you want to research, what you want to publish, and you can track that, and you can build a resume, you can build a collection of publications, and you can track your citations, and you can see the growth of your recognition as a professional, and you can participate in these organizations and see your achievements from being invited to join editorial boards or being recognized and getting different awards. In a way that you don't always get in a lot of other professions where you're working your whole life, you're building something, but you don't necessarily get to see the end product of that, where that goes off to, or you don't get the same recognition. So it motivates you, it drives you to keep working and be engaged with your work because there is a very clear uh, something at the end that you can see, some kind of impact that you can see of your work. And then same thing with working with others. So I can see when my students, my PhD students, get a job at the end of their academic program. That's a very clear like accomplishment and outcome that I can see that drives me to continue to work very hard with my other PhD students to get them to the same point. Or my master's students when they complete the end of the semester and they give me feedback on the course, positive feedback, and they say this is a great course. That's something that gives me very clear motivation at many different points throughout the year rather than maybe just like one annual review you get with another job. And so all of those little points, all those little accomplishments, achievements that you can celebrate in and see throughout your um, year keep you motivated, keep you engaged, and uh, to me, that's why I love being a faculty member. That's why I love information science as a discipline as well.
Thank you. And lastly, do you have any advice for new ASIS members?
Yeah, as I mentioned, get involved in ASIST early, and I know anyone that you talk to will give you that advice. But beyond just getting involved, get involved in leadership because as I mentioned, ASIST is great about encouraging and developing leaders early in their career. If they recognize or you show that you're really interested in taking some kind of leadership role, being involved with different committees, different chapters, different SIGs, they're going to support that and embrace that. And there's a lot of opportunities because we have a lot of chapters, we have a lot of SIGs, we have a lot of committees. There's always some openings for you to be involved with. And I've seen a lot of PhD students, for instance, that have had the opportunity to be the chair of a committee or the chair of a chapter, and that's really a great opportunity to build up your resume, to stand out when you're applying for jobs, whether it be a professional role or a role in academia. That's going to stand out that you were the chair of some committee or just that you were highly involved with some committee. So that is a unique opportunity with ASIST again that you don't get with maybe some other organizations that could be related to our discipline like ACM or IEEE, that may have a more of a like a established hierarchy of how do you get into a leadership role. We are looking for leaders. We are embracing leaders at all stages of their careers, and I think that's really wonderful. And that's something as a new member to embrace, to take advantage of. We have a lot of opportunities, fortunately, in information science to build up your resume, to set yourself apart as a researcher, as a professional, and hopefully, advance your career and get into a great job. And ASIS can help with that in ways that a lot of other organizations cannot. So take advantage of that, be involved, be engaged, reach out to leadership. I mean, Lydia is incredibly accessible for the leader of a large professional organization. Um, and just reach out to other faculty, engage with them, try to collaborate on research and different activities. Be involved in as many ways as you can be with our organization, and it'll really benefit you in your career.
Well said. Well, thank you so very much, Brady, for taking the time to chat with us today and know that we appreciate it. And to all of our members watching, we hope you found this helpful and stay tuned for future installments of Member Spotlight. Thank you.